The stars looked different now. Captain Hyunwoo Park stood on the bridge of the Indomitable, staring at the massive alien ship that had appeared without warning. It was huge, 10 times larger than anything humans had ever built. Its dark metal surface reflected no light, as if it swallowed the stars themselves. "Sir, they're sending a message," said the communications officer. Hyunwoo nodded. "Put it through." The screen flickered. A creature appeared. It had scales like a snake, eyes that burned yellow, and a mouth full of sharp teeth. When it spoke, the translator made its voice sound cold and emotionless. "Humans of Earth, I am Vothra of the Galactic Council. You will listen." Back on Earth, Admiral Bora Kim watched the same transmission from military headquarters. She was a veteran of 30 years, but nothing had prepared her for this moment. Around her, officers stood frozen, watching the alien speak. "Your world has been discovered," Vothra continued. "The Galactic Council rules 12,000 star systems. We maintain order. We keep peace. You will now join us, but not as equals. You are primitive. You are weak. You will obey." Hyunwoo felt anger rising in his chest, but he kept his face calm. Beside him, his tactical officer whispered, "This can't be real." "It's real," Hyunwoo said quietly. Vothra's image grew larger on the screen. "These are your terms. You will surrender 80% of all resources on your planet. You will allow council observers in all your governments. You will dismantle your military forces. You will accept our protection. You have 72 hours to comply." The alien paused, and something like a smile crossed its reptilian face. "If you refuse, we will demonstrate our power. We have destroyed 47 civilizations who thought they could resist. Their worlds are now empty rocks floating in space. Choose wisely, humans." The transmission ended. For a long moment, nobody spoke. Then Bora Kim's voice cut through the silence. "Get me the president. Now." Around the world, people watched the message again and again. Some cried, some prayed, some got angry. In Seoul, millions gathered in the streets. In New York, London, Tokyo, and Moscow, governments held emergency meetings. Humanity had finally met aliens, and they had come with chains. President Ji-won Choi sat in the emergency council chamber with leaders from every nation. Her face was tired but determined. "We need options," she said. "What options?" snapped the Russian premier. "They have technology we can't match. They have weapons that can destroy planets. So we surrender?" asked the Indian representative. "We become slaves?" "We ask for more time," suggested the European Union speaker. "We negotiate." Bora Kim stood up. "With respect, they're not here to negotiate. They've done this before. 47 times, they said. This is how they operate. They threaten, you submit, or they kill you. Then what do you suggest?" Ji-won asked. "We fight." The room erupted in argument. Bora waited for the noise to die down, then continued. "I'm not saying we can win. I'm saying we don't have a choice. If we surrender, we lose everything that makes us human. Our freedom, our dignity, our future. But how?" someone asked. "They have ships that can cross the galaxy. We barely made it to Mars." A new voice spoke from the doorway. "Because we've been preparing," everyone turned. A man in a lab coat walked in, escorted by security. He was young, with tired eyes and messy hair. Dr. Taeyang Lee, the lead scientist of Earth's Deep Space Research Program. "What do you mean preparing?" Ji-won asked. Taeyang opened his tablet and projected an image into the air. It showed complex equations and ship designs. "For 10 years we've been working on something. Not because we expected aliens. Because we wanted to explore the stars. We developed quantum displacement technology." "In simple terms, please," said the British Prime Minister. "We can make our ships appear and disappear," Taeyang explained. "Not invisibility. Actual quantum displacement. The ship exists in multiple probable locations at once until we choose where to make it solid. Their sensors can't track us. Their weapons can't target us." Bora leaned forward. "How many ships have this technology?" 20 combat vessels, Taeyang said. "And we can retrofit more in the next 60 hours. The room went quiet again, but this time with hope instead of fear. "There's more," Taeyang continued. "I've been analyzing their transmission. Their technology is advanced, yes, but it's old. Very old. They haven't innovated in centuries. They've had no reason to. Everyone always surrenders." "So they're overconfident," Hyunwoo said over the video link from the Indomitable. "Exactly," Taeyang confirmed. "And there's something else. I compared their ship's energy signature to our database. They use conventional fusion drives, powerful but predictable. We've been testing something different. Quantum engines that, can you beat them? Ji-won interrupted. Bottom line. Can we win? Taeyang looked uncomfortable. I don't know. But I know we have advantages they don't expect. They think we're primitive. That's a mistake. Ji-won looked around the room at all the world leaders. We need to vote. Surrender or fight. But understand this. If we fight and lose, they might destroy everything. If we surrender, we lose ourselves slowly. Choose. One by one, the leaders voted. It wasn't unanimous, but it was clear. Humanity would not kneel. Admiral Kim, Ji-won said. You have operational command. Do what you need to do. Bora nodded. Dr. Lee, I need every ship equipped with your technology in 60 hours. You'll have it, Taeyang promised. Captain Park, Bora said to Hyunwoo's image. How many ships can you gather at the rally point? Hyunwoo checked his display. 50 combat vessels. Maybe 70 if we pull everything from the colonies. Do it. We're going to send Vathra a message he won't forget. The next 72 hours were chaos. Scientists worked around the clock installing quantum displacement cores into every available ship. Military forces mobilized worldwide. Factories that made cars started making weapons. People who had never touched a gun signed up for militia training. In orbit, Hyunwoo watched the alien fleet assemble. More ships arrived every hour. Big ones, small ones, all of them armed and waiting. They weren't hiding. They wanted humanity to see them and feel fear. Sir, his weapons officer said. They're sending another message. Vathra appeared again. Your time is nearly up, humans. We detect military preparations. How foolish. You cannot fight the council. You can only die. We are giving you one final chance. Surrender now and we will be merciful. Resist, and we will turn your world into ash. Hyunwoo muted the transmission and opened a channel to Admiral Kim. What's our status? 63 ships ready, Bora replied. All equipped with quantum systems. Attack wings are in position. President Choi is about to send our response. Across all frequencies, in every language, Ji-won's message went out to the alien fleet and to every human on Earth. People of Earth, the Galactic Council has given us an ultimatum. Submit or die. They believe we are weak. They believe we are primitive. They believe we will surrender. They are wrong. Humanity has never bowed to tyrants. We will not start now. To the Council we say this. Leave our system now or we will make you leave. We are Earth. We are humanity. And we are not afraid. The transmission ended. Hyunwoo smiled. It was time. All ships, he commanded. Battle stations. Prepare to engage. In the alien fleet, Vathra watched the human response with disbelief, then with amusement, then with rage. Destroy them, he ordered. Destroy them all. The war had begun. 200 alien warships hung in space above Earth like dark clouds before a storm, their weapons charged with energy that could burn cities. Their shields glowed with power that had never been broken. For 3,000 years, the Galactic Council had conquered world after world with these same ships. They had never lost. Commander Subin Han sat in her command chair aboard the destroyer Valiant. Her hands were steady, but her heart pounded. Around her, the crew worked in focused silence. They all knew the odds. 200 alien ships against 63 human vessels. It should have been a massacre, it would be. Just not the massacre the aliens expected. All ships report ready, her tactical officer said. Quantum displacement cores at full power. Subin opened a channel to the fleet. This is Commander Han, remember your training. Trust your ships. Trust each other. We're going to show these aliens what happens when you threaten Earth. Execute Protocol Defiance on my mark. In the alien flagship, Vathra watched his tactical display with satisfaction. The primitive human ships were forming up in a defensive formation around their planet. How predictable. How pathetic. They would try to defend their home and they would fail. All vessels advance, he ordered. Target their capital ships first. Make it quick. The alien fleet moved forward, a wall of metal and death. Their weapons locked onto the human ships. Targeting computers confirmed range. Fire control systems armed. Fire, Vathra commanded. 200 ships unleashed their weapons at once. Energy beams that could melt steel crossed the void. Plasma bolts that burned hotter than stars streaked toward the human fleet and hit nothing. What? Vathra leaned forward in his command throne. Where did they go? The human ships had simply vanished. One moment they were there, the next they were gone. Not destroyed, gone. Scan for debris, Vothra ordered. Find them! His sensor officer's voice was uncertain. Sir, there is no debris. They're just not there anymore. On the bridge of the Indomitable, Captain Hyunwoo Park watched his display as the alien weapons passed harmlessly through empty space. The quantum displacement was working perfectly. His ship existed in a superposition of quantum states, occupying multiple potential locations at once. The aliens couldn't target what wasn't technically in one place. Now, he said quietly. The human ships reappeared, but not where they had been. They materialized inside the alien formation, scattered among the enemy fleet like wolves among sheep. All weapons fire, Hyunwoo commanded. The Indomitable unleashed its main guns, not energy weapons that the alien shields could deflect. Solid metal slugs, each weighing 10 tons, accelerated to 90% of light speed. Relativistic kill vehicles. The first projectile hit an alien cruiser's shield at 270,000 kilometers per second. The shield tried to disperse the energy, designed to spread out heat and force. But there was no energy to disperse, just pure kinetic force. The slug punched through the shield like it wasn't there, through the ship's armor like paper and out the other side. The cruiser exploded from the inside, a bloom of fire in the void. Target destroyed, the weapons officer reported. Reloading. All around the battle space, human ships appeared and disappeared, firing their kinetic weapons. The aliens tried to return fire, but their targeting systems couldn't lock on. Every time they aimed at a human ship, it vanished and appeared somewhere else. Commander Jae-hyun-oh piloted the destroyer Retribution through the chaos with deadly precision. His ship flickered in and out of quantum states, appearing just long enough to fire, then vanishing before the aliens could respond. 3 more targets locked, his gunner reported. Fire all tubes, Jae-hyun ordered. 6 relativistic missiles launched. Each one crossed the distance to its target in less than a second. 3 alien destroyers died in brilliant explosions. On the alien flagship, panic was spreading. Vothra watched his fleet dying and couldn't understand how. These humans weren't supposed to have this technology. They weren't supposed to be able to fight back. Concentrate fire, he screamed. Saturate the area with weapons. They have to appear sometime. The alien fleet tried to adapt, firing blindly in all directions, hoping to catch a human ship when it materialized. It was wasteful and desperate, but it was all they could do. Captain Unisong saw the alien strategy change. They're panic firing, she reported to the fleet. All ships coordinate displacement. Let's give them too many targets. The human ships began appearing and disappearing in rapid sequence, creating a dizzying pattern. To the alien sensors, it looked like there were hundreds of human ships, appearing and vanishing across the entire battle space. Their targeting computers overloaded, trying to track them all. Back on Earth, engineer Dong-hyun Kwon watched the battle from ground control. He had been waiting for this moment. Activate the satellite grid, he ordered. Around the planet, thousands of communication satellites suddenly changed purpose. They had been built with a secret secondary function. Now they linked together, forming a massive directed electromagnetic pulse weapon. Grid online, a technician reported. Target lock achieved on alien formations. Fire, Dong-hyun said. An invisible wave of electromagnetic energy washed over the alien fleet. It wasn't enough to destroy their ships, but it scrambled their computer systems. Targeting failed. Navigation went offline. Communication between ships cut out. The disciplined alien formation dissolved into chaos as each ship suddenly flew blind. Now they're really in trouble, Dong-hyun said with satisfaction. Commander Subin Han saw the aliens faltering. All ships full assault. Hit them while they're confused. The human fleet pressed the attack. Ship after ship fell to the relentless kinetic weapons. The aliens tried to retreat, but their navigation systems were still rebooting. Some crashed into each other in the confusion. Others fled in random directions only to find human ships waiting. Vothra finally managed to restore partial systems on his flagship. What he saw on his display made his blood run cold. In 6 hours of battle, he had lost 80 ships. 80! And not one human vessel was destroyed. Not even damaged. Retreat, he ordered. All ships retreat from the system. The surviving alien ships broke formation and ran. Their mighty fleet, the same fleet that had conquered 47 civilizations, fled in disorder from a species they had called primitive. Captain Hyun-woo wanted to pursue, but Admiral Kim's voice came over the command channel. Let them go. We've made our point. The human fleet regrouped around Earth. Cheers erupted on every bridge and every ground station across the entire planet. They had won. Against impossible odds, they had won. On the bridge of the Indomitable, Hyunwoo looked at his tactical display. The alien fleet was gone, leaving only debris and disabled ships floating in space. "Damage report," he asked. "Minor hits to 3 ships," his executive officer replied. "No casualties. No major damage." Hyunwoo shook his head in wonder. "We just beat the Galactic Council." "No, sir," said his tactical officer with a smile. "We destroyed them." But in her headquarters, Admiral Bora Kim wasn't celebrating. She studied intelligence reports from the captured alien ships. Yes, they had won this battle. But the Galactic Council controlled 12,000 star systems. This fleet was nothing to them. When they learned what happened here, they would come back. And next time they would bring everything. She opened a secure channel to President Ji-won. "Madam President, we won the battle, but the war is just beginning." Ji-won's face appeared on screen, serious despite the celebrations happening behind her. "I know. How long do we have?" "Weeks, maybe months. They'll need time to assemble a real response fleet, and they'll need to believe we're actually a threat." "After today, I think they'll believe it," Ji-won said. "That's what worries me," Bora replied. "We surprised them. We can't do that again. Next time they'll be ready. Next time they'll bring enough ships to overwhelm us, no matter how good our technology is." "Then we don't wait for them to come to us," Ji-won said. "We take the fight to them." Bora looked surprised. "You want to go on the offensive?" "They've been the hunters for 3,000 years, Ji-won said. "It's time they learned what it feels like to be prey." In the wreckage of the alien fleet, Commander Jae-hyun led salvage teams through disabled ships. They recovered data cores, weapon systems, navigation computers. Each piece of technology was a treasure, something that could teach humanity more about their enemy. "Sir, you need to see this," one of his officers called. Jae-hyun floated through the ruined corridor to where his team had found an alien data terminal still working. On the screen were star charts. Thousands of systems, all marked as Council territory. Military bases, shipyards, supply depots, all carefully documented. "Copy everything," Jae-hyun ordered. "This is intelligence gold." Dr. Tae Yang arrived at the salvage site hours later, eager to study the alien technology. What he found surprised him. The technology was advanced, yes, but it was also old. Some of the systems looked like they hadn't been updated in centuries. "They've been using the same designs for generations," he explained to Bora Kim. "They got powerful, and then they stopped innovating. Why improve when you always win?" "But we changed that," Bora said. "We did. And now they have a choice. Adapt or die." Tae Yang smiled. "I don't think they know how to adapt anymore. They've forgotten how." As Earth celebrated its victory, the Galactic Council met in their ancient chamber on Valaxis Prime. For 3,000 years they had gathered here to discuss matters of conquest and control. Never before had they met to discuss defeat. High Counselor Theric slammed his clawed hand on the stone table. He was old, perhaps the oldest being in the galaxy, and he had never known fear, until now. "A single human fleet destroyed 80 of our ships," he growled. 80, and we destroyed none of theirs. "How is this possible?" The other counselors shifted uncomfortably. None wanted to answer. "They have new technology," Vothra finally said. "Ships that can appear and disappear. Weapons that bypass our shields. They fight in ways we've never seen." "Then we adapt," another counselor said. "We study their tactics. We improve our defenses." Theric shook his head. "No, we don't have time for that. If word spreads that humans defeated us, other worlds might rebel. We must crush them quickly and completely. Send the Void Hunters." A shocked silence filled the room. The Void Hunters were mercenaries, the most feared warriors in the galaxy. They had conquered 47 civilizations for the Council. They never failed. They never showed mercy. "Are you certain?" asked a counselor. "The Void Hunters are expensive, and they're dangerous even to us." "I'm certain," Theric said. "Humanity must be made an example. Send 500 ships. Let the Void Hunters do what they do best." While the Council plotted revenge, Captain Hyunwoo Park stood before Admiral Bora Kim with a wild proposal. "We attack them first," he said. "Hit their mining colonies. Disrupt their supply lines. Make them worry about defense instead of offense." Bora looked at the star charts spread across her desk. They showed Council space, vast and intimidating. "That's deep in enemy territory. If anything goes wrong, we can't send help." "I know the risks," Hyunwoo replied. But we can't just wait here for them to come back stronger. We need to keep them off balance. Bora thought for a long moment, then nodded. You'll have 20 ships, fast ones. Hit them hard and get out fast. And Hyunwoo? Come back alive. The strike force left Earth 2 days later. 20 human destroyers, all equipped with quantum displacement technology. Commander Haewon Shin led the second wing, her ship Shadow living up to its name as it flickered in and out of normal space. They traveled through unmapped space, using the navigation data salvaged from the alien ships. It took them 3 weeks to reach their first target, a mining colony on the edge of Council space. There it is, the sensor officer said. Asteroid mining facility. 6 guard ships. Orbital platforms. Looks like they're extracting heavy metals. Hyunwoo studied the tactical display. We go in fast. Destroy the guard ships, disable the platforms, then leave before reinforcements arrive. Quantum jump in 3, 2, 1 mark. The human ships appeared inside the asteroid field right among the mining platforms. The alien guards never saw them coming. In 30 seconds, all 6 guard ships were debris. The mining platforms fell silent as human Marines boarded them. Lieutenant Ji-hoon Ryu led the first boarding team. He wore a powered exoskeleton that made him as strong as the largest alien warrior. His team moved through the mining platform quickly, stunning guards and securing control rooms. Platform secured, he reported. Downloading their database now. Intelligence Officer Young Mion monitored the data flow from Earth. We're getting everything. Mining schedules, shipping routes, supply chains. This is valuable intel. Good, Admiral Bora said. Tell them to set charges and evacuate. I want that platform destroyed. The human Marines planted explosives throughout the facility and returned to their ships. Minutes later, they jumped away. Behind them, the mining platform erupted in a ball of fire. Over the next 2 weeks, the strike force hit 6 more targets. Supply depots exploded. Shipyards burned. Transport convoys vanished without a trace. Each raid was quick and devastating. The humans appeared, destroyed everything, and disappeared before the Council could respond. On Valaxis Prime, reports of the attacks caused panic. The Council had always been the attackers, never the victims. Their citizens demanded protection. Their military demanded action. The humans are making fools of us, Therix raged. Where are the Void Hunters? They're assembling at Kepler Station, an aide reported. 500 ships. They'll be ready to depart in 3 days. Tell them to hurry, Therix ordered. Back with the human strike force, Dr. Tae Yang had been analyzing the salvaged alien technology. What he discovered amazed him. Their artificial intelligence is primitive, he explained to Hyunwoo over secure communication. They rely on biological crews for everything because they don't trust AI. But our neural link technology is more advanced. We can process information faster. What does that mean in practical terms? Hyunwoo asked. It means human pilots are quicker. We see faster, think faster, react faster. In a dogfight, we have the advantage. Pilot Seo Jun-bae proved this theory in their next engagement. His fighter encountered a patrol of alien scouts near a supply convoy. The aliens opened fire first, but Seo Jun's neural interface let him see the weapons fire before it reached him. He dodged, rolled, and returned fire in one smooth motion. The alien scouts never had a chance. 3 targets destroyed, Seo Jun reported calmly. No damage to my fighter. Word of the pilot's skill spread through the fleet. Humans could outfly aliens. It was one more advantage they hadn't expected to have. Commander Haewon continued to plan their raids carefully. We need to hit something big, she suggested. Something that will really hurt them. Hyunwoo looked at the intelligence they had gathered. Kepler Station. It's their main resupply depot in this sector. If we destroy it, we cripple their logistics for months. It's also heavily defended, Youngmi warned. 50 guard ships at least. Maybe more. Then we'll need to be clever, Hyunwoo said. Engineer Dong-hyun had been working on a new weapon. He called it a quantum mine. It existed in a superposition state, invisible to sensors until it was triggered. Once activated, it would explode with enough force to crack a ship's hull. I can make 100 of them in a week, he told Admiral Bora. Maybe more if I have the resources. Make as many as you can, Bora ordered. The strike force is going after Kepler Station. The Void Hunters arrived at Kepler Station 3 days later. 500 warships painted black with red markings. Their commander was a brutal warrior named Krell. He had personally killed the leaders of 10 different civilizations. He looked forward to adding humans to that list. We leave for Earth in 2 days, he announced to his fleet. We will show these humans what happens when they defy the Council. But the humans had other plans. Hyunwoo's strike force approached Kepler's station under quantum displacement. They were invisible to the station's sensors. Carefully, methodically, they deployed the quantum mines throughout the area. Each mine floated in superposition, waiting. Mines deployed, the tactical officer reported. 200 units in position. Now we wait for our guest to arrive, Hyunwoo said. The Void Hunter fleet began to move out from Kepler Station. 500 ships, the largest military force the Council had ever assembled against a single world. They entered the area where the mines waited. Activate mines, Hyunwoo ordered. All around the Void Hunter fleet, mines materialized from quantum superposition. The aliens had no warning. One moment their sensors showed clear space. The next moment they were surrounded by explosives. The mines detonated in a chain reaction. Ships that had survived 100 battles vanished in fire. The neat formation dissolved into chaos as captains tried desperately to escape the minefield. Now, Hyunwoo commanded. All ships attack! The human fleet appeared among the confused aliens. Their kinetic weapons fired again and again. The Void Hunters tried to fight back, but they were trapped. Every direction they turned, there were more mines. Every ship that tried to escape ran into another human vessel. Krell watched his fleet being destroyed and couldn't believe it. The invincible Void Hunters defeated by technology they couldn't even detect. It was impossible. It was humiliating. It was happening. All ships retreat, he ordered. Get away from this cursed place. What was left of the Void Hunter fleet scattered. 300 ships had died in the ambush. The survivors fled in all directions, their reputation shattered. Commander Haewon led her wing in pursuit of the fleeing ships. Let a few escape, Hyunwoo ordered. We want them to tell the Council what happened here. After the battle, the human fleet regrouped. They had lost no ships. The trap had worked perfectly. Kepler Station is defenseless, the tactical officer reported. Do we destroy it? Hyunwoo thought about it. The station was huge, probably home to thousands of alien workers. Many were probably civilians. No, he decided. We're not here to kill innocents. Send a message to the station. Tell them to evacuate. Give them 6 hours. Then we destroy the facility. The aliens evacuated quickly. They had seen what human weapons could do. When the station was empty, Hyunwoo gave the order. Relativistic missiles reduced the massive facility to scrap metal. On Earth, people celebrated the victory. They had defeated the feared Void Hunters. The aliens didn't seem so invincible anymore. But Intelligence Officer Young Mi wasn't celebrating. She studied the data they had captured from the Void Hunters' computers. What she found made her blood run cold. Admiral Kim, she reported urgently. The alarm woke Intelligence Officer Young Mi on at 3 a.m. She was at her desk in minutes, still wearing yesterday's uniform. The message on her screen made her heart stop. Planet killers detected. 3 ships, heading for our colonies. Planet killers were exactly what their name suggested. Massive vessels designed to crack worlds from orbit. The Council only used them when they wanted to send a message written in fire and death. Young Mi ran to Admiral Bora Kim's office. The Admiral was already there, staring at the tactical display with tired eyes. She hadn't slept in days. 3 targets, Bora said without looking up. New Sol, Armstrong Settlement, and Terra Nova. Each colony has 2 million people. We can't evacuate them all in time. How long do we have? Young Mi asked. 48 hours until the first planet killer arrives at New Sol. 60 hours for the other 2. President Ji-won's face appeared on the communication screen. She looked older than she had a month ago. The weight of the war was visible in every line on her face. Can we stop them? She asked. I don't know, Bora admitted. Planet killers are the biggest ships in the Council fleet. Heavily armored. Powerful shields. We've never faced anything like them. We have to try, Ji-won said. Those colonies are full of our people, families, children. Bora nodded. I'm splitting our fleet. 3 groups, 1 for each target. But that means we'll be spread thin. If the Council attacks Earth while we're gone, we deal with that if it happens, Ji-won said firmly. Save our colonies, Admiral. That's an order. Within 2 hours, the Earth Defense Fleet was moving. Commander Jae-hyun. Oh took 30 ships to New Sol. Captain Unisong led 25 to Armstrong Settlement. Captain Kyung-soo Lim commanded the experimental dreadnought Prometheus, heading for Terra Nova with 15 escort ships. The Prometheus was humanity's newest weapon. Dr. Tae-yang had designed it with a quantum disintegrator, a weapon that could tear apart molecular bonds at the subatomic level. It had never been tested in real combat. Now it was their best hope. At New Seoul, Commander Jae-hyun arrived 12 hours before the planet killer. The colony was in chaos. Ships tried to evacuate as many people as possible, but there wasn't enough time or space. Status on the target? Jae-hyun asked. One planet killer escorted by 40 Council warships, his sensor officer reported. They'll be in firing range in 10 hours. Jae-hyun looked at his small fleet. 30 ships against 41, and one of those was a planet killer. The odds were bad. But he had an advantage. He knew this system. He had trained here as a young officer. He knew every asteroid, every moon, every hiding place. Take us into the asteroid field, he ordered. We're going to make them come to us. The asteroid field around New Seoul was dense, full of rocks ranging from small boulders to chunks of stone the size of cities. It was a navigation nightmare. It was also perfect for an ambush. Pilot Seo-jun Bae led his fighter squadron through the asteroids like they were dancing through raindrops. His neural interface processed the complex three-dimensional maze faster than any alien computer could. The fighters deployed quantum mines throughout the field, creating invisible traps. When the planet killer arrived, it came in confidently. The escort ships spread out in a protective formation. They had done this dozens of times before. Blow up a world, terrify any survivors, move on to the next target. It was routine. All ships weapons free, Jae-hyun commanded. Hit them now. Human destroyers appeared from behind asteroids, firing their kinetic weapons. The escort ships scattered, trying to respond. Some hit the quantum mines and exploded. Others crashed into asteroids while dodging fire. The neat formation collapsed into chaos, but the planet killer kept coming. Its shields absorbed the kinetic rounds that hit it. Its massive hull ignored the ones that got through. It was designed to survive everything, and it was doing exactly that. Target the planet killer's main weapon, Jae-hyun ordered. That's what it uses to crack worlds. If we can disable it, we buy time. Every human ship focused their fire on the planet killer's forward section, where the massive planetary destructor weapon was mounted. Dozens of kinetic rounds hammered the same spot over and over. The shield flickered and failed in that section. The armor began to crack. Inside the planet killer, alarm screamed. The captain, a veteran of 12 planetary destructions, couldn't believe what was happening. They were actually damaging his ship. His invincible ship, return fire, he screamed. Destroy these insects! But the planet killer was designed to fight planets, not fast-moving ships. Its weapons were powerful but slow. By the time they could aim and fire, the human ships had already quantum jumped away. Seo-jun saw an opening. The planet killer's main weapon was damaged but still functional. If it fired on New Seoul, millions would die. He made a decision. This is Seo-jun to Commander O. I'm going in. Negative, Jae-hyun replied. That's suicide. It's necessary, Seo-jun said calmly. Before anyone could stop him, he pushed his fighter to maximum speed. He dodged defensive fire, weaved through explosions, and aimed for the damaged section of the planet killer's hull. At the last second, he fired every torpedo he had directly into the crack, then slammed his fighter into the opening. The explosion was visible from the surface of New Seoul. The planet killer's main weapon erupted from inside, a chain reaction that tore through half the ship. The massive vessel began to break apart, dying in flames. On the bridge of his destroyer, Jae-hyun closed his eyes. He saved us, he said quietly. He saved the whole colony. The surviving escort ships fled. New Seoul was safe. But Seo-jun Bae, the pilot who could outfly anyone, was gone. At Armstrong Settlement, Captain Yuna Song faced a different problem. The planet killer there had learned from what happened at New Seoul. It kept its distance, using its escort ships as a screen. They wouldn't let the human fleet get close. We need a new strategy, her tactical officer said. Yuna thought fast. What's the settlement's industrial capacity? Mostly mining and manufacturing. Why? Because we're going to turn their factories into weapons, Yuna said. Engineer Dong Hyun, working remotely from Earth, helped coordinate the plan. Armstrong Settlement had mass drivers for launching cargo into orbit. With some quick modifications, they could launch much more dangerous payloads. Load the mass drivers with ore containers, Yuna ordered the colony. Fill them with rocks, metal, anything heavy. We're going to make rail guns out of your industrial equipment. It took 8 hours of frantic work, but they did it. 20 mass drivers all aimed at the approaching planet killer. Each one could accelerate cargo to incredible speeds. Now they would accelerate weapons. Fire, Yuna commanded. The mass drivers launched hundreds of containers, each filled with tons of metal ore. They weren't guided missiles. They didn't need to be. There were so many of them that dodging was impossible. The planet killer's shields held against the first wave, and the second. But the third wave began to overload the shield generators. The fourth wave cracked the shields. The fifth wave hit bare hull. While the planet killer was distracted by the orbital bombardment, Yuna led her fleet in close. Target their engines. If we can't destroy it, we can cripple it. The human ships appeared behind the planet killer and fired everything they had at its engine section. Without engines, the massive ship would drift helplessly until it could be towed away. The plan worked. The planet killer's engines exploded, leaving it dead in space. Armstrong's settlement was saved. But at Terra Nova, things went very wrong. Captain Kyung-Soo Lim arrived too late. The planet killer was already in position, its main weapon charging. The colony below had minutes, maybe less. "We can't reach them in time," his tactical officer said desperately. "We have to try," Kyung-Soo replied. "Full speed. Charge the disintegrator." The Prometheus was fast for a dreadnought, but not fast enough. The planet killer finished charging its weapon. It aimed at Terra Nova, at the cities full of people, at the children playing in schools, at the families eating dinner. Commander Hayan Park commanded the small defense fleet orbiting Terra Nova. He saw what was about to happen. He saw that the Prometheus wouldn't arrive in time. He saw 2 million people about to die. He made his choice. "All ships follow me," he ordered. "Ram them, sir, that's suicide." His executive officer protested. "Yes," Hayan agreed, "but it might buy enough time for the Prometheus to save everyone else." "Do it." His 5 ships accelerated toward the planet killer at maximum speed. The Council ship tried to shoot them down, but the human vessel's quantum jumped constantly, impossible to target. They got through the defensive fire. They hit the planet killer's shield at relativistic speed. The shields held, but barely. The impacts drained their power, forcing them to reboot. For 30 seconds, the planet killer was vulnerable. That was all the time Kyung-Soo needed. The Prometheus arrived in range and fired the quantum disintegrator. The beam of energy hit the planet killer's exposed hull and began to tear it apart molecule by molecule. The massive ship didn't explode. It simply came apart, disintegrating into fundamental particles that scattered into space. Terra Nova was saved. But Commander Hayan Park and his crew were gone. They had given everything to protect their home. On Earth, Admiral Bora Kim received the reports. 3 colonies saved, 3 planet killers destroyed. But the cost had been high. 4 months passed in a blur of desperate preparation. Earth's factories ran day and night, building ships and weapons. Every person who could hold a tool worked to defend their home. The colonies sent resources and volunteers. Humanity united as it never had before. Dr. Tae Yang barely slept. His teams reverse-engineered every piece of alien technology they had captured, improving it, adapting it, making it better. The quantum displacement cores became more efficient. The kinetic weapons became more powerful. New systems were developed that the Council had never imagined. Engineer Dong Hyun completed the solar defense grid. Thousands of satellites now ringed Earth and its colonies, connected by quantum links. They could create defensive shields, fire coordinated weapons, or generate massive electromagnetic pulses. It was the most sophisticated defense network ever built. Admiral Bora Kim stood in the new command center, looking at the tactical display. Her fleet had grown to 800 ships, not nearly enough to match the Council's 5,000, but each human vessel was worth 10 alien ships. At least that's what she hoped. Captain Hyun-Woo Park walked into the command center. He looked tired but determined. The Indomitable had been upgraded with the latest technology. It was now the fastest, deadliest ship in the fleet. "All ships report ready," he said. "Everyone knows what's at stake." "Good," Bora replied. "Because they're here." On the edge of the solar system, space itself seemed to tear open. 5,000 alien warships emerged from faster-than-light travel. They spread across space like a dark cloud, blocking out the stars. At the center of the formation was the Eternal Supremacy, the ancient dreadnought that served as the Council's flagship. High Counselor Tharix sat on the command throne, his ancient eyes burning with fury. For 3,000 years, the Council had ruled the galaxy. For 3,000 years, no one had dared challenge them. Until humans. Open a channel, he ordered. President Jiwan's face appeared on the screen. She looked calm, almost peaceful. Behind her, Tharix could see Earth, blue and beautiful and full of life. Humans, Tharix said, his voice cold with hate. You have defied the Council. You have destroyed our fleets. You have killed our warriors. For this, there can be only one punishment. Complete destruction. But we are merciful. Surrender now and we will make your deaths quick. Jiwan smiled. It was not a happy smile. You came to our home and threatened us. You tried to enslave us. You sent planet killers to murder our children. And now you offer mercy? She laughed. No, you want to know about mercy? Let me tell you about human mercy. If you leave now, we'll let you go. That's the only mercy you're going to get. Tharix's face twisted in rage. You have 800 ships. We have 5,000. You cannot win. Maybe, Jiwan said. But you're going to find out how much damage we can do before we lose. And, Counselor, we're not going to lose. The transmission ended. All ships, Tharix commanded. Advance. Destroy everything. The Council fleet began to move forward, a wall of metal and death. But as they entered the solar system, they discovered the first surprise. They couldn't enter faster than light travel. Something was preventing it. The humans have created quantum displacement anchors, the Council's science officer reported. They've locked down this entire region of space. We can't jump away. Tharix smiled. Good. That means they can't escape either. Continue the advance. But the anchors weren't meant to trap the humans. They were meant to trap the Council. In normal space, human ships were faster and more maneuverable. The Council's advantage in numbers meant less when they couldn't use their superior FTL drives to outmaneuver the human fleet. Admiral Bora gave the order. Execute spiral offensive. All ships engage. What happened next would be studied by military historians for centuries. The human fleet didn't charge at the Council formation. They didn't try to fight the massive fleet head-on. Instead, they did something the Council had never seen before. The 800 human ships split into dozens of small groups. Each group quantum jumped to a different location in the enemy formation. They appeared, fired devastating volleys, then disappeared before the aliens could respond. Then they appeared somewhere else and did it again. To the Council, it was chaos. They couldn't tell where the humans would appear next. Their targeting systems couldn't track ships that existed in quantum superposition. Their formations broke apart as captains tried to respond to threats coming from every direction at once. Captain Hyunwoo led the vanguard in the Indomitable. His ship flickered in and out of existence, appearing behind Council cruisers just long enough to fire relativistic missiles. Each shot destroyed an enemy ship. The Indomitable was a ghost, a phantom that killed and vanished. Commander Subin Han coordinated the defense grid from Earth. Activate Sector 7, she commanded. 1,000 satellites suddenly fired together, creating an electromagnetic pulse that washed over a section of the Council fleet. Hundreds of ships went dark as their systems overloaded. Now hit them, Bora ordered. Human ships appeared among the disabled vessels and tore them apart with kinetic weapons. The aliens couldn't fight back. Couldn't run. Couldn't do anything but die, but 5,000 ships was still 5,000 ships. For every one the humans destroyed, there were 10 more. Slowly, inevitably, the Council fleet pushed forward. Some human ships were finally caught by the overwhelming firepower. They died in fire, but each one sold itself dearly. Captain Unisong's destroyer took a direct hit from an alien plasma cannon. Her ship's shields failed. Hull breaches opened on 3 decks. We're venting atmosphere, her damage control officer reported. Life support failing. Then we go out fighting, Una said calmly. Full speed toward that dreadnought. Load all remaining kinetic missiles. Her damaged ship accelerated toward one of the Council's massive capital ships. The aliens tried to shoot her down, but she quantum jumped erratically, impossible to track. At point-blank range, she fired every weapon she had, then rammed the dreadnought at maximum speed. Both ships died together in a massive explosion. High Counselor Tharix watched his fleet dying and couldn't understand how. The humans were outnumbered 5-1. They should have been overwhelmed. Instead, they were fighting like demons. Each ship worth 5 or 10 Council vessels. How are we losing? He screamed. We have more ships. More weapons! His tactical officer's voice shook. They're faster, sir, smarter. They coordinate perfectly. Every human ship knows what every other ship is doing. They fight like a single organism. We've never seen anything like it, Commander Jae-hyun. O led a squadron through the Council fleet's left flank. His ships worked together with perfect synchronization, each one covering the others, each one taking advantage of openings the others created. It was human teamwork against alien individualism, and teamwork was winning. Lieutenant Ji-hoon Ryu led a desperate boarding action on the Eternal Supremacy. His Marines fought their way through the ancient dreadnought deck by deck. The ship was huge, built when the Council first started conquering the galaxy. It should have been impossible to take, but humans fought in close quarters better than most aliens. The powered exoskeletons made them stronger. Their neural reflexes made them faster, and they were fighting for their home, which made them fierce. "We're approaching the command deck," Ji-hoon reported. "Heavy resistance. Keep pushing," Admiral Bora ordered. "If we can take their flagship, we can break their morale." Tharix heard the reports of boarders approaching. He couldn't believe it. Humans on his ship, in his sanctuary. It was unthinkable. "Seal the command deck," he ordered. "Kill anyone who gets through." But Ji-hoon and his Marines were unstoppable. They fought with a combination of tactics and technology that overwhelmed the alien defenders. When they reached the sealed door to the command deck, they simply used shaped charges to blow it open. Tharix stood from his command throne as the humans entered. He was old and powerful, a warrior from a time when the Council earned its power through strength. He drew an ancient energy blade and prepared to fight. Captain Kyung-soo Lim walked through the smoke, his armor scorched from battle. He held a kinetic pistol aimed at Tharix's chest. "It's over," Kyung-soo said. "Surrender your fleet." Tharix laughed bitterly. "You cannot defeat us. Even if you take this ship, we have thousands more." "Look at your tactical display," Kyung-soo said. Tharix glanced at the screen. What he saw made his blood run cold. His fleet of 5,000 ships was now down to less than 3,000. The humans had destroyed or disabled 40% of his forces, and they were still fighting. "How?" Tharix whispered. "How are you doing this?" "Because we have to," Kyung-soo replied. "You came to destroy us. We're defending our home. You fight because you're ordered to. We fight because we have no choice." That's the difference. Outside, the battle continued. The solar defense grid fired again and again, coordinating with the human fleet to create devastating crossfire. Engineer Dong-hyun had programmed the satellites to fight with the same quantum precision as the ships. Every shot counted. Every target mattered, but the humans were dying too. Admiral Bora watched her fleet dwindle. 800 ships had become 600, then 500. The Council still had numerical superiority. If the battle continued, humanity would lose through simple attrition. "We need to end this now," she said to President Ji-won.